No, I don't think I'm a master. I had a vision. I had a meditation vision come to me, or idea download into my brain, where I was standing in front of all of you, beautiful love lights, all of you, beautiful love lights, playing your soul song, your heart song, like this symphony where you all were out there playing. And I was standing in front like a conductor of a symphony, and just that's keeping the time, right? Like you are the expert of you. You are your own instrument, and I'm just the conductor up there standing in front, kind of conducting the symphony. And so that's why I call myself a spiritual maestro. I'm not a master, at least not in my own mind. Yeah, but that's so it was just, I was looking for something to kind of call myself that was unique, and that's what came to me. So that's why I called myself that. Anyway, I do that by coming into my online sacred healing medicine space that I've created for us, this beautiful high vibrational healing container. There's a link to it in the description box below. It is the Harmonic Vibrational Attunement Ensemble. Every Tuesday, I come in live into that group and I share the life force energetics that exist to allow us to cleanse and clear and heal and strengthen our energetic bodies, which spills over into healing our mental body, our emotional body, our physical body, our spiritual body, our energetic body, our cosmic body, all of the things that make us who we are, whatever that is, right? Like, I don't even claim to know what that is. But I do understand that true healing begins at the foundational level, and the foundation of everything in our world is energy. We are energy and information. That's what we are. We like to complicate it, but it really is that simple. And while I openly don't understand it, I know and I trust that I have been placed here on purpose to assist humanity as we ascend and we build toward this new earth of higher vibration, higher frequency, greater ways of showing up and being, tapping into our highest potential, our highest timeline, allowing each of us to build and develop our own individual light bodies, whatever that looks like for you, right? Like I am not here to tell you what you need to do. I believe that wisdom is deeply coded within you, and you know it. And so my role is simply to help you kind of rebuild that relationship with you. I say it's harmonization with your highest expression of self. And so that's what I do in that group. I also have a free space. It's the harmonic.us. I do a Monday meditative morning in there every week. Well, almost every week. I missed last week because I was traveling for spring break. But more, in like a little over a year, I've missed one, and it was last week. So anyway, it was every week until last week, but often, and I show up in that space to help us kick off our week on what I call the good foot, where we tune into our breath and we just kind of recalibrate our nervous system and set off our week on the right foot, the good foot. I'm coming into YouTube because I'm fascinated by this Mayan Galactic Calendar. I'm just freaking fascinated by it. And again, today, I had a couple synchronicities happen that I hopefully will remember to share with you when we get to the daily affirmation, because I dove into a video today about, I don't know if any of you know, but there's allegedly, right? Like, who knows what's true in the world anymore? So I'm gonna just throw it out there that allegedly, some pretty high up techie people such as Elon Musk and Steve Wozniak, was that the head of Apple? Not Steve Jobs. It's Steve Wozniak. Maybe it was Steve Jobs, anyway. And then a couple other again, techie people. I don't know their names because that's not really the world that I'm in, but they have prefaced or called for a potential like 6-month moratorium on AI production. Like, and I just found it really fascinating that where my mind went when I like learned that these very intelligent people who are steeped in the world of artificial intelligence and AI are calling for like a pause. Like, let's make sure that we're doing this the right way. And then when I read today's daily affirmation, I'm just going to dive in because it makes sense to do so. I normally do this at the like close to the end, but we're going to do it right now. So today's day is the yellow self-existing warrior, and in and of that is a synchronistic moment in time. So many cool things. But this daily affirmation is, so the code keys of self-existing are define, measure, form, as I've been sharing over and over and over again, because we're in a red self-existing moon year right now. And then we're also in a yellow warrior day. So those code keys are question, fearlessness, and intelligence. And so the daily affirmation is, I define in order to question. Measuring fearlessness. I seal the output of intelligence with the self-existing tone of form. I am guided by the power of free will. And I was sort of in this space of like thinking about like AI and just like the like, are we asking good enough questions in society right now? And how does that like really stepping into this space? I mean, I don't know about y'all, but every time people talk about things, especially if it revolves around politics or the news, there's generally this overarching consciousness of fear, right? Like it's almost like being like fear is being peddled so heavily in our world. And this idea of this warrior, which is tied to the castle of time that we just entered. It's the white northern castle of crossing, this court of death and refining of the warrior. And here we are on this yellow warrior day, this yellow self-existing warrior, where we're questioning, right? Like this, not just like I define in order to question. Like we need to define things so that we can better understand them and be able to ask those good questions, right? And then we're measuring fearlessness, right? Like how do we measure fear, and especially fearlessness? Like, and what is the measure? How do we get to that measure of fearlessness? How do we refine the internal warrior to really like step into this idea and consciousness of fearlessness, to not allow the things going on, the chaos around us, to push us into that lower vibrational consciousness of fear? How do we remain in this higher vibrational consciousness and space of love and faith? How do we measure that, y'all? Like, this truly, like, I'm asking the question. I don't know. How do we measure fearlessness? How do we measure faith? I seal the output of intelligence with the self-existing tone of form. Got to think about that. And I'm guided by the power of free will. Like, we have choice, y'all. We get to choose. We get to choose our path. We get to choose our words. We get to choose what we do. I chose to be here, right now. Every time I hit go live, that's a choice that I'm making to share the most precious and creative gift that we each have to give one another, which is time. And I'm sharing that with y'all. Like, I don't even know if y'all show up. I don't even know who's out there watching this. I have no idea. I do it because I feel compelled and called to share this. I don't even know why. I don't even fully understand it. I don't even know if y'all care if there's anyone out there. And it might be for the future, might not even be for right now. So many like huge things to consider and think about. And we are spiraling through time and seeking to understand what that means. Time is not money. Oh my gosh. Time is a gift. Time is art. Time is life. How are you creating and utilizing your most precious resource? Your time. And why? And sometimes you understand it and sometimes you don't. Again, I don't understand why I'm compelled to come in here. I don't fully get it. But here I am, nonetheless, sharing with y'all because it feels like it's important. All right, we have these layers that we're spiraling through, and they go way above what I talk about for sure. But the first one I mention and I reference is the 13-year wave spell that we are flowing through, and the code keys that are being woven into the energetic fabric of all of those 13 years. And it is the White Wizard 13-year wave spell. Those code keys. So sit with these words, or not even that. Like when I say these code keys, if something jumps out at you, that is an invitation for you to dive deeper and begin to unpack, why did that word like resonate with me in this now moment? What attachments do I have to that? What are the lessons that I need to learn from that? What am I reminded of when I hear that word? What bubbled up inside of me? What got me excited or made me kind of be like, what is that all about? Right? Like our triggers are our greatest teachers for sure. But also like when we lean in, right? Like when we have that, like, oh, tell me more about that. That's also an invitation to explore. So the code keys of the White Wizard are enchants, receptivity, and timelessness. Enchants, receptivity, and timelessness. We are 4 years into the White Wizard 13-year wave spell. So that's why we are in a red self-existing moon year. Self-existing is the 4th tone of creation. Again, just like today is a self-existing tone of creation day, those code keys are define, measure, and form. And the red moon tribe, the solar tribe that is this entire year up until July 25th, those code keys are purifies, universal water, and flow. And the next level down, we have the 65-day season. And we just spiraled into a new one yesterday. So we are in the blue Western Eagle season of vision. And this time is an invitation to dive into your mental body and your planetary mind, this collective mind, right? Like to really so we just came out of the white northern dog season of heart, that where we were exploring and unpacking our emotional body and all of the lessons and yumminess and juiciness that life wanted us to learn from that. Now we're in this idea of vision and our mental body. What are we kind of creating? What do we see? Where are we headed? Like all of those things, really seeking to unpack the lessons that our mental body is seeking to teach us over the course of the next 65 days, 64 days, since this is the second day. So welcome to the Blue Western Eagle season of vision. Take the time to cultivate and craft your vision, to sit with yourself and get clear, gain clarity about, where do you see yourself in 65 days? Where do you want to be? What can you create and cultivate in your own space to help you along to become the person that you desire deeply inside of you to be? This is a beautiful opportunity for you to mentally begin to move through that space and create that vision, right? Like that third eye chakra that exists within the uh, the mid space of our head, right? Like right in the middle, right behind, right where our pineal gland is, to allow it to share its vision, to allow that third eye to open during this time, right? That'd be a cool thing to do during the next 64 days. And I have "When I'm 64" in my head now because I have music in my mind a lot. Next, we just spiraled into a new 52-day castle of time, which I think I talked about already, the white northern castle of crossing, right? This idea that, and that's the other synchronistic event of today, is that I made the decision to do this video today, to come in here, right now. And how cool it is that we just spiraled into this white northern castle of crossing that is about this refinement of our inner warrior, that spirit, that the energetics of what it means to be a warrior on this yellow warrior day, which I just think is super cool. So the white northern castle of crossing, we are initiating the powers of space. We're refining, crossing through the power of death, transforming, crossing through the power of, I think, self-generation, and then ripening, crossing through the power of free will, where we also have the power of free will guiding us today. Again, we came out of the court of birth. We're flowing through the court of death, which is this idea of like what needs to die within you, what is no longer serving you, and how can you like release that, right? So that you can rebirth and regenerate into more of the fullness of who you're meant to be, right? Like this idea of shedding that old skin so that you can move into your new skin, which reminds me, I'm going to go grab, I've been going through, hang on just a second. I've been going through this Book of Awakening, the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. I don't know. It's my dressing screen. This one, Book of Awakening. I don't know if that's backwards for y'all or not, but I think it's cool. Again, all these synchronicities, right? That March 28th and March 29th were the headings of them were the gift of shedding and what keeps us from shedding. And so I just want to read, there's little tiny paragraphs that I want to read for y'all. From the beginning, the key to renewal has been the casting off of old skin. And that's the gift of shedding. So what keeps us from shedding? Often we give up our right to renewal to accommodate the anxiety of those around us. So it sort of is like that. I don't know if y'all have heard about the crabs in a bucket effect, where if you put crabs into a bucket, like even though they have the ability to climb out, if one of them starts to climb up, the other ones pull them back down. So it's that idea, like, why do we allow, and we all do it, like I'm guilty of it for sure. Why do we allow what we perceive others to think and feel about us to hold us back? Because the reality is it's actually us who are thinking and feeling that. And we have the power to change that story. It's not what that other person is thinking or feeling. It's what we are thinking and feeling. And so really, truly, like the power is yours. Take that power, utilize it, and have grace, right? Like we're all learning how to do this, right? Like we've lost that art. And that's what this, I believe, is seeking to help us relearn, is our own power to create, on purpose, our lives. You are that freaking powerful, love light. So freaking powerful. Did I share the synchron? Yeah, the warrior. So that's the white northern castle. White northern castle of crossing. And power of birth, power of death. What am I missing? Oh, the power of descending, right? Like, so we're learning about like what it means to like go down, like go deep into the depths, right? Like death, right? Like we're descending. I don't fully understand that, but that's what it talked about. It's this power of descending, going deep down into the depths of who we are to learn more about ourselves and to allow what needs to die, right? Like to just, we have to learn, we have to know, or we have to consciously choose to be something different, right? Like we don't necessarily need to understand what we've been doing wrong per se, right? But because we can just start focusing on, no, I don't, this is who I want to be. Like, no mas, I'm closing that door. It's dead. And then deciding, this is where I'm headed. This is the path I'm taking. This is the direction I'm going. And that is what my group is that's the one of the things that I want us to do in that space is to speak the life that we want into existence, to go into that space and to talk about future you as if you're here, right now. Like to be in that space of like, this is who I am, and create it by talking about it in that space, sharing with those people in there, not who you are right now, who you are becoming, who you know you already are. You just haven't embodied that, right? Like it's to help us embody that person at a deeper level. And then also to have that healing life force energy flowing through that space for you to tune into whenever you need it, because that's a part of your subscription. So I come in live every Tuesday to share that energy with you live, but I send that life force healing energy to you every day for you to tune into whenever you need it, which is pretty cool. I'm very thankful that Spirit led me to the realization that I can do that within that space. And that channel opens up to you when you dive into the Harmonic Vibrational Attunement Ensemble, that online healing medicine space, that all of that flow of energy opens up to you, that coding that I have set the intention for every day, every day. Next, we have the solar moon of intention. We're flowing out of this solar moon of intention, right? Like gaining clarity about that intention. Oh, I don't think I shared the code keys of the Blue Eagle. I'm sorry. The Blue Eagle code keys are creates, vision, and mind. And the code keys of solar moon of intention are pulse, realize, and intention, right? Like this whole month, we've been able to put time towards really crafting and carving out what is our intention for this month, the next 3 months, the next year, the next 5 years, whatever it is that we want for our relationships, for our jobs, for whatever, our family life, right? Whatever the case may be. But we are on day 24, so we have 4 more days. The next moon we are moving into is the planetary moon of manifestation. So it's taking that intention and really focusing on it to bring it, birth it into the physical plane, right? To make it manifest. We just spiraled into the Red Skywalker wave spell. The code keys of Red Skywalker are explores, space, and wakefulness. Super cool. And then today we have the yellow self-existing warrior day today. So I am going to read about tribe 16, the yellow warrior. Here's the glyph. The code keys for yellow warrior are questions, intelligence, and fearlessness. Yellow is associated with the direction south and the word ripens. The quote is from Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche. Hope I said that all right. Quote, fearless is not a reduction of fears, but rather the capacity to go beyond fear. Okay, so remember I was talking about like, how do you measure fearlessness? Okay, well, it's not the reduction of fear. It's the capacity to go beyond fear. So how do we measure our capacity to go beyond fear? Going beyond fear begins when we examine our fear. In the Shambhala tradition, discovering fearlessness comes from working with the softness of the human heart. I love that. End quote. The spirit of the yellow warrior invites us to access divine guidance, circulate fresh analysis of our convictions to assure they represent our truths, confront uncharted terrain, exercise keen awareness, embrace challenge by recognizing it as the ever-present gift of growth, understand obstacles as opportunities to strengthen ourselves, apply mindfulness, precision, and will, question all appearances, reference points, and information to gain deeper insight and intelligence. Question and confront fears in order to release their hold and transcend them. Apply one-pointed focus and determination in cautiously proceeding towards goals while remaining unweighted by expectations. A warrior's strength is in how she responds. How will you channel the power of the yellow warrior? The yellow warrior glyph symbol resembles a shield, communicating, you are an agent of cosmic forces. Be at home in the cosmic question mark. Integrate the three forces of mind, will, and spirit to pick up the staff of galactic empowerment. Okay, so how cool to take today this invitation, right, to integrate three forces of mind, will, and spirit as we've spiraled into the blue Western Eagle season of vision, right? That unpacking of that mental body, right? The mind, our will, and our spirit. Pretty cool, I think. So let's see, we have self-existing tone. Again, those code keys are define, measure, form. I'll read this. And then we'll dive into, there's a link to the Astro Dream Advisor where it breaks down the Red Skywalker wave spell, the question of the day, and then a little bit deeper dive into Yellow Warrior. And you can follow along with me if you want to right click on that and open it up in a new window. All right. Quote from the Mayan Factor, which is a book by Jose Arguelles. It is only, quote, it is only through the operation of measure as wholeness and order that any manifestation can occur as a coherent organism. Measure. The form-giving principle of energy is represented by the number 4. The form-giving principle of energy. So measure is the form-giving principle of energy. 4 directions, 4 seasons, 4 elements, 4 limbs, 4 chambers of the human heart, 4 sides to the tetrahedron, 4 delivers structure into the 3rd dimension, 4 offers double stability. It provides a uniform foundation which nature's order builds upon. And direction Tone 4 represents the essential role of definition in shaping our lives. When supported with accurate information, clarity is formed and direction revealed. Without verified facts, life may be clouded or disoriented. Plans are weakened when based in speculation or hearsay. Therefore, Tone 4 prompts us to ask questions like what, Where, when, why, and how. Define, assess the situation, unveil the designs, determine the parameters, measure possible scenarios, scheme and dream the structure you seek.